welcome back to another episode of Africans Talk Football. How is everybody feeling tonight?
Wonderful.
All right.
Wonderful. How are you?
Okay.
Man, I feel great. Man,
Yeah, man.
I feel all right. Feel
Yeah.
calm, cool, and collected. Three
You look
point points collected. Some of us can say that, some of us cannot, but we'll get into that here very, very shortly. Just wanted to say again, thank you to all of our friends, all of our supporters that have been listening, whether this is the first episode or whether you guys have been rocking with us, for the years that we have been putting out our episodes. We really do appreciate it. Um, it's a big week, and we don't want to waste any time. We want to jump right into the matches, starting with the marquee match this weekend. It's been the 1-2 knockout punch that we've been watching these last few years. It's Arsenal versus Manchester City in Manchester. The game was at the Etihad today. Um, it was. I think it was one of the matches that we all were going to look forward to, even though we knew that there were some key players that were out, and which is tough to. There was Kevin De Bruyne out on City side, and then Odegaard out on the Arsenal side, both key midfielders, both captains. So from the jump, we kind of knew this was still going to be a top billing game, even with these key players missing. And for Arsenal, I'm just going to pass it off to Gabriel when I'm done here. But for Arsenal to hold City to 2-1 for the majority of the match, I think in itself just shows that they still do have the fight and the heart of champions. It shows that they do want to be champions, even though they haven't done it these past couple of years. It shows that they have this. They have smoke with City. Like they really got beef with City, and they don't like them. They went into Etihad and they did exactly what they were supposed to do, albeit the result isn't what they wanted. They show that they have that fight, and that the rest of the league is still not where these 1 and 2 teams are right now. But Gabriel, as far as the match itself, I know you want to talk red card. I know you want to talk the match, but is this what you expected as far as the result? Because I think City looked a little timid at times, and you guys really were holding them, for lack of better, 45 minutes. But is this what you expected as far as the match?
Yes and no, because I didn't expect there to be a red card. Or if I expected there to be a red card, it wouldn't be in that way, and it wouldn't be that early in the match. So yes and no. I knew it wouldn't be as like tight of a game as people expected. I expected there to be space a lot of places. So I can tell we wanted to play it a little bit more advanced. We took Ben White out. We put Timber on the right hand side. We started Calafiori. So we wanted to play. This match, man. Oh God. I honestly think they deserve the goal in the first 15, 20 minutes. I mean, they scored in the first 10 minutes. I think they deserved it. They were obviously the better team. They attacked Calafiori a lot too. It's kind of crazy. I expected them to kind of do that because that was his first, Prem game, but their Prem start. But yet again, we just started rough, and then as the game went on, we started to get a little bit more comfortable. We got our goal, which was great. But no, as I expected us to get, Calafiori with a beautiful finish. So I knew it was going to come from somewhere. Like I knew the goal was going to come from somewhere, but I didn't know where. And we finally got it. Okay, great, we're on even terms. And then I felt like we were the better team going into the latter end of the half. The last 15 minutes of the half, I think we were the better team. City really didn't have much going forward, and we get the second goal, which is amazing. As I expected, we're the better team. We finished out the half better. And then to get the red card at the end of the second half was just, I think both of the yellow cards were weak. in my opinion. I think if you really watch the match, I think in the beginning of the match there were a lot of fouls early. As soon as the game started, Kai Havertz fouled Rodri, so it was feisty from the start. And 4 minutes in, 5 minutes in, 7 minutes in, he's letting these fouls go and no yellow cards. So for him to just kind of give Trossard that yellow card it's a little pull of the shirt, but it's nothing crazy in a high intense match, 15 minutes in, and that's his first foul. I think that's just, I don't know. I think that's just early and just unnecessary. I don't know. That's to me, that's a talking to if you've been letting things go all match. So he's on a yellow, yes, but the second foul, even at that, I think it's a sell one. I personally think Bernardo sold it a little bit one, which is fine. But at the same time, I don't think that's a yellow card. It's just not a yellow card. And I think to kind of ruin the game, these are, when we all know when it's a Champions League match, when it's these matches against the best teams of the best teams, you have to let them play. You can't just, everything can't be so snippy snappy. You have to let them play and then give these yellow cards in the end of the match, because this is high end football. Like, this is the best of the best. And I feel like he kept it. He wasn't calling in the beginning of the match. Then he switched up mid match, and then as the game went on, there were things that were happening in the 75th minute that he was giving a yellow card for in the first half, but didn't give one in the second half for. So I'm like, this is the same things that we're just. I don't understand. So I feel like it was very inconsistent. But at the end of the day, I still feel like we still should have grabbed all 3 points, and it's unfortunate. We turned off for a moment. And that's what good teams do too, is these margins. And if we want to be champions, we have to win this match. This is how I feel. I'm disappointed, honestly. I was extremely disappointed. I knew in the last minute when they got the corner, I was like, nah, Jack Grealish understands that no one's been getting down the sideline and crossing the ball in the whole half. The whole half. No one did it. They're all trying to play through. No one went down the line. As soon as they did that, it was trouble the first time. So that's why he played the ball quick. He realized it. And again, it's just unfortunate, but if we want to be champions, we have to win this game. Bottom line, we're down 10 men, but what did you defend for the next, for the previous, 40, 50 minutes for? Would you defend for the last 50 minutes for if you're not going to finish out the match? Finish it out. We have 6 defenders on the field, bro. If we're at first we were a 5-4, and then we adjusted to a 6-3. We're a 6-3. Finish it out. We have 5 center backs on the pitch at this point, bro. 5. Finish the match. If we want to be Premier League champions, this is the match we have to win. I'm sorry, this is a match we have to win. So yes, I'm happy with the point. We can talk about the ref and the red card and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, finish the match. Finish it. And this is what makes me angry, bro. Because we really should have walked out with 3 points. We really should have walked out with 3 points. And it makes me so mad, bro. It makes me so mad. Because not only this happened maybe 4 years ago with Tomiyasu. We were down to 10 men. We defended for 43 minutes. And in the last minute of the game, Rodri or someone scores in the last second. And it makes me so angry, bro. And that match we lost, and this one we tied, so it's a little bit better, but it's a stepping stone. But still, if we want to be champions, bro, we have to finish these matches out. Because what if we're in the Champions League and this happens? We're out. We're done. So this, bro. This is the last thing I'll say. All in all, I appreciate everyone's effort because we showed a lot of character today. I think we showed a lot of character. It was tough to go into that place to get a result like that. It was unfortunate for us to get this red card, yes. But if we're going to have these, there's not much we can do, honestly, at this point. Just down to 10 men at the Etihad, this is the best team in the world. There's not much we can do. So we're just going to defend. And if you decide to defend until you die, bro. If you want to be a champion, bro, you have to want to die on the pitch, bro. Seriously, bro. No, seriously. You have to want to die for this shit.
They weren't dying.
Seriously, man. You have to just mentality-wise. We did so well for 50 minutes, bro. And you just for the last second, it just makes me so. It kills me, bro, because these are the matches that we have to win. We have to get the job done.
Yeah.
You did it all for nothing to me. That you didn't do it all for nothing. Like, you showed me a lot of character. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And I know they feel like that too. And it's tough, but you have to win. You have to. Spurs, same thing. Spurs, same thing. You know, we get out with 3 points with Spurs, and it's good. We defended fine. That's fine. Get out of there. But we have to do the same exact thing, bro. And that's my only thing. That's it. The last thing I'll say, I don't agree with taking Saka off. Saka should have never come off.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I understand. You know, Martinelli, he's a runner. We can, you know, he can play. We can play out, and he can potentially get on the ball. But I do not agree with taking Saka off.
I respect the call, though.
I respect it. I respect it, but I do not agree with it. I don't.
Because our manager can't take off our captain for anything. But this is not about us. But
yeah, so what were your thoughts?
Fabrizio tweeted that the yellow card was actually for him kicking the ball away, and not.
But also, I think that's circumstantial too.
Yeah. No, but do you think like that was used as like a cup? I mean, he did kick the ball away.
But because
I felt like
the announcers, yes, but the announcer said that on the field, the ref confirmed that it was for the foul. And then upstairs, they're saying that, oh, no, it was for him kicking the ball away. So what really is it? That's where I'm at.
They're covering.
But at the same time, bro, I think by the time he calls the foul, his body movement's already kind of in play, and it's loud in there. It's loud. Like, these are just, I don't know. That just ruins the game for me, bro. It really just ruins the game. And you know, you have to let these teams play, bro. You have to let them play. And I think this just ruined matches. But at the end of the day, it was our job to get the job done, and we did not get the job done. And I'll always refer back to my team because I'm only going to control what we can control. And we could have controlled getting the ball out like we did for the previous 50 minutes. We proved it for 50 minutes. Why can't we do it for 50 minutes and 10 seconds?
Yeah, Mike, did you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, well, for me, this just tells me why Arsenal will never be champions as long as City's in the league and doing what they're doing. I mean, it's just another example. Last week, we saw a red card with Declan Rice. This week, he should have learned. It called it, don't kick the ball away. I'm sorry. Initially, I even thought when the second yellow came out, yeah, it was a little bit harsh, but we're not talking about the first one. Why are you making such a... The first one shouldn't have happened to begin with.
The first one shouldn't have been a yellow in the first place.
So it's like, to me, it's like, guys, we're not going to cry when there's a second yellow. Like, let's be fucking responsible. Already, you should have that in your head from what happened last week. So since this should be up, that, hey, we have to be smart today. We can't just be playing like, you know, this is just another regular game.
The first yellow card isn't a yellow card, though.
And then to hold them for all this while and not win the game, I completely agree with you. I agree with your frustration. If you hold them for that long, you have to finish the game. And you didn't finish it. And it's kind of been the trend with you guys about, you know, finishing off what you have going. And yeah, you walk away with 1 point. You did the same. You did the same last year. You walked away with 1 point. Did you end up winning the league? No, you didn't. So to me, it's just like I don't see anything this year that tells me this year is going to be different. It was just another Arsenal-Man City game that was competitive, but in the end, they walked away with 1 point. You guys walked away with 1 point, and to me, it was just one of those games that I just felt like if you held, you should have won, and you didn't win. So there's not really much to say here.
So I'll disagree with that a little bit.
Okay.
I have a few takes from this game, and I don't want to be too technical. But Mike, the reason I say I disagree with that is because this was away, you know, and for Arsenal to hold away, you know, the biggest issue last year was Arsenal losing matches that they weren't supposed to lose. You know, if you are going to lose matches and you aspire to win the league, you should probably lose matches to those in the top four because those are the guys that you can afford to, you know, maybe trade points with. Let's not lose the guys who are going to be in 10th place, 15th place, so on and so forth. So for Arsenal to, potentially win the league, they need to win their matches at home against these top 4, top 6 teams, and they need to either draw or potentially win away. They need to not drop points away. That's what they need to do. For City today, the reason they rejoiced at the end as hard as they did is because they knew that this is a match that at the end of the season they're going to look back and say, I'm glad that we didn't drop all 3 points. And so for me, this is as much as it's a draw for Arsenal, it's a big draw for City. It's a very, very big draw for City, because in the past we've seen City do what they were supposed to do against these smaller teams and against these Spurs. It's against the Arsenals. It's against these bigger teams that sometimes give them trouble. But City historically does what they're supposed to do against the smaller teams. That's just the way it's been.
No, but Cornelius, they did the same thing last year, and what happened?
We got 4.
So what was the difference?
4 points from City. No, we got 4 points from City. We won.
It didn't contribute to you guys winning the league because you didn't win the league.
Okay.
But I'm saying, but they're making, but they still have steps in the right direction.
You're acting like, just because you got 1 point just means that you're not.
No, I'm just saying, if you want to win the league, you have to do something different. And this didn't show me anything.
Bro.
It was just another draw, like you did last year against City.
Okay.
Like, kudos for holding them for 45 minutes.
I agree. We
Come
should have
on, let's
won,
be
but
real,
that doesn't
man.
mean that we're not going to win the league or that this is why we're not going to win anything. But okay, if you say so. Man.
No, I'm just saying I wasn't impressed because I felt like, okay, you held them, but you didn't win the game. What are we talking about here?
I'm frustrated from the game too.
Hey, that's fair.
Everybody can't be Chelsea, Mike. Everybody can't.
Hey,
They can't.
we've been shit. Remember, we're the shit club. We're the shit club. So hey, we're the shit club. But somehow niggas that just hold City to the point. Hey, hey. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out fact. I'm not gonna give you kudos for holding City. No, you did that last season. You still didn't win the league. You did it this year. What do you want me to do? Take kudos for holding them for 45? No.
Talk there from 6, bro.
Everybody has their opinion.
See you back at 6 after Christmas.
First of all, we're in fifth. We're in fifth. Relax. But the biggest takeaway from this match is Rodri. I think for me, already down Kevin De Bruyne. We didn't actually hear exactly what his injury was. They downplayed it a little bit, which makes me think that it's going to be some that he'll come back from quickly. They just want to take precautions because he was out, the majority of last season. But being down Rodri, City has players. They have people that can step up and take his place, but nobody's going to be able to fill his shoes. So I feel like that's going to be big moving forward. As far as the injury, it looks pretty bad. What do y'all think? We haven't heard much since the match, since it just happened, but what do y'all think about the Rodri news?
I think it's a big miss. I think obviously De Bruyne, what he brings to the table is, obvious. He's a world-class player, but I really think Rodri's absence is an absence that they can't afford. I think he's their most influential player. And I know it was pretty early on, but you could kind of tell they kind of lost a grasp, they being City. They kind of lost a grasp on the game once he left.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's unfortunate. Hopefully he can come back soon and it's not anything serious because he hasn't really, he had a busy summer winning the Euro, so he didn't really play all like that at the start of the season before the international break, but he's a loss that they can't afford. Thankfully, they got Gundogan. I think he'll be able to help them, but, when you really look at, this game, especially Arsenal don't have Odegaard, yeah, it's unfortunate that they lost him in a game like this, but, hopefully he can come back. Yeah,
this was a big draw for City. I think more so this is going to feel tough for Arsenal. Like Gabriel said, they show the fight, but sometimes it's just not good enough in the end. And it can be devastating when you know that this could potentially be the reason why, further down the line you may or may not be where you want to be at the end of the year. So it's still very, very early, which is good, and it's very positive for you to be able to show this resilience. We're only 5 matches into the year, but again, you're going to have to beat the top dogs if you want to be the top dog. And moving forward to the other team that decided to just draw this week, Manchester United. It's crazy because I feel like, and I said this in the group chat because I know Salam has said this before, and I think me just watching the highlights and not full match, I kind of got a very, very focused glimpse on what he says. Bruno Fernandes just went missing, man. And I saw a crazy stat, and I stopped it, and I'm so glad that the stat was actually shown in the extended highlights, because it says 16 shots on goal, no goals this year. And I think he's like leading the league in most shots on frame without an actual goal in 5 games. I think, at certain times, and I feel like we're pretty good on not like harping on players on this podcast, but we do need to start holding people accountable. And I don't want to just say Bruno, because it wasn't just Bruno, but Salam, bruh, if you want your team to be good, bruh, like, and this is something that Chelsea had issues with for the last 3-4 years, just being clinical. But the highlights were bad, man. I mean, it wasn't just him; it was Garnacho, it was Bruno. But what were you seeing specifically? Because I know you watched the match. Because I still don't understand how y'all lost, man.
No, I mean, we lost because we didn't put the ball in the back of the net.
That's what I'm saying lost, but I'm saying draw.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. In the grand scheme of things, to go into Selhurst Park, a place where it's been very difficult for us the past few years, a place where we got beat 4-0 last year, you would think a point away from home would be good, and I guess it is for the league, but that game was disappointing because we had so many chances to score, to win the game, to put the game away even, and we didn't capitalize. We lead the league with the most missed big chances with 17. I mean, the next team has like 9, which, when you look at it on one side, it's obviously bad that we're not putting the ball in the back of the net, but we're creating chances. But, if you don't, if you can't win, if you can't, really get what you deserve if you don't take care of business in the attacking third. But the draw was disappointing. I think that there's just a few things that are very obvious with me, and it's that to start the game, I was a little disappointed in one big decision, and that was Eriksen starting for Ugarte. Once again, I don't understand why the people that we spend the majority of the summer after, why they can't come in and make an impact on the team. But I was actually humbled, and the decision to start Eriksen was actually the better decision. We controlled the game. I think we look headed like just night and day compared to last year. But I think for us, man, where the game really kind of got away with us was when you took the possession-based players out of the team. Obviously, we created so many chances before that. Xerxes did a great job of creating chances. Garnacho, you have to score.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's had a pretty good start to the season, but again, these are big chances that we're missing. So it's kind of like we can't even really show for our good performances. But for me, when Eriksen left, when Ahmad left, and when Xerxes left, the game was gone. when you took Xerxes off and you put Rashford on, the game was gone. Because at that point, this is nothing against Rashford, but I know Xerxes gets a lot of heat for not scoring. I guess a lot, but he's a very good player and he fits our team very well. He links up very well. He creates chances for, people to score, but people don't score. I don't know why you're laughing. I'll get to you here in a second.
No, how long is a very good player going to be good enough?
No, I think he is a good player.
Yeah,
Obviously, he didn't create the.
Okay.
These Chelsea wins got Mike spicy, bro.
Hold on.
No, we wait for next week.
He had a few opportunities to finish. He didn't finish those. He should have made those, but he does a good job of creating as well too. Much more than Anyway, but when you put on Rashford, when you put on Højlund, I just feel like that's what the substitutions really were.
Wait, we're giving up on Højlund already?
No, I'm saying that like when those subs came on though, the substitutions is what killed us. Again, when Ahmad left, when Eriksen left, when Xerxes left, all the possession-based players in the team in the attacking third had now gone, which then puts Bruno in a position where he feels like he has to do everything. Bruno also leads the league in the most turnovers in a game and in the league.
Always.
So
always do that, bro.
Yeah, but again, it's just kind of like in the attacking third when you're always doing that. When you lose the ball, you're susceptible for counterattacks, and like that's why we concede some of the chances that we do because of again some of the decisions in the attacking third. But I said to Gabriel, I respected the decision of Arteta to take Saka off. Saka was the captain today. But, Arteta, I guess, thought that for the second half, a player like him wasn't going to help us in the game. And I respected that. Whether you agree with that decision is up to you.
Yeah, I know. I respect it too.
But for me, when you look at Bruno Fernandes, his performance, there is no reason why he was able to play a full 90 minutes plus. Is absolutely ridiculous. When some of the players that are coming off don't deserve to come off, and again, some of this favoritism is could be this manager's Achilles heel because I feel like you can show that you can bench Rashford, you can bring him off the bench, but after he's been scoring, but someone who has been, quite frankly, been missing from the middle of last season. Come on, I think that's I think it says a lot, but disappointing. Hopefully we can bounce back.
Why?
A lot of good football being played.
Why do you think there's so much up and down? I mean, I know it's early, albeit it's only 5 matches.
Bro, I just don't think we're scoring, bro. I just don't think we're scoring. I think defensively we're sound. This will be the last thing I say. Defensively, I think we're sound. Another clean sheet. De Ligt, Martinez look very good. Maserati, probably to me, I'm not gonna say that. I'll say he's a big bargain. He's been a big bargain. He has been one of the few players who has come in.
I was trying to listen to what you're gonna say. I was like, what are you about to say?
He cleaned
bargain of the summer.
Cleaned that up.
Most impact so far.
He has been good. He has been very good.
So defensively, we're sound. Again, we're creating a lot of chances, but we gotta put the ball in the back of the net. I think if we even convert half of the chances that we missed yesterday, I think that there's a different narrative around this team. But it's not just yesterday's game; it's been the past few games.
So is it time to bench Bruno? What are we doing with the Bruno situation?
Bro, what?
I wouldn't necessarily bench Bruno. We don't have anybody healthy that could replace him. I just think if he, and I don't know if he can, but he just needs to simplify his game, man. We look good when we're connecting and when we're playing as a team. Even Rashford has shown glimpses of when he combines, he looks better. Bruno is someone, he's just like the ultimate highlight. I don't know if you guys saw, did you guys see the chance Xerxes created for him? He shot outside of the foot, and it's
and it went wide left. Yeah.
Like, oh, great. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all know what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? But again, he makes that. You don't say anything. It's a professional move.
But I don't think you have to be on frame, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah,
And
you guys
and
had
I
way
don't
too
think you
many
bench. To
chances.
answer
and
your question, I
You
don't
guys
think
had
that
way
you
too many
bench him.
chances.
I don't think.
no, no, I agree. I don't think you bench him either. And this is, I was watching the City game with, my homie Zion, who's been on the pod, and this was something I said after the first Gabriel header, where Doku was guarding him on the corner, and he had the free header and just missed a little bit. And I was looking at his Arsenal friend, and I was just like, bro, you have to expect more out of that, because this is a game where you're
Yeah.
down a man. That has to go in. And
Mhm.
luckily, he gets the second one where they put Kyle Walker on him. And you saw they were like, okay, that Doku matchup, it didn't work. So let's put Kyle Walker on him now. And he still got free. And the second time, literally, the ball was in the exact same spot that the first one was in. This time he scored. And I was like, those are the fine margins that you're talking about when you're looking at matches. When you're looking at this United match, I mean, when it's 0-0, you can look the other way and say, hey, Eze had a few chances where he should have scored.
Absolutely.
Eze
All right, so
also
why
had
did you put wide? Oh my gosh!
Eze had a few chances where you're looking at him like, bro, put that put that away. And now you're shifting the whole dynamic of the game. You guys are at home.
The keepers played well, though. You got to give credit to Onana.
Both, yeah,
Henderson
both.
was player of the game for a reason.
Yeah.
He was
I
the player of
agree.
the game for a reason.
I
Because
agree.
Onana, crazy double save. Crazy
agree.
double save.
The keepers,
Onana, yeah, he's been way better than last year. Go ahead.
I
sorry.
agree. The keepers did well. I 1,000% agree. But Salam, I was just on this podcast a few weeks ago telling you this exact same thing, bro. We all have to hold our clubs to a little bit of a higher standard, bro. We were on here last week talking about how Crystal Palace is just like Chelsea's West Ham, how it's that team that gives us issues. And the difference is this week we took care of business and y'all didn't. You feel me? Like,
Nah,
and
but you don't look at it that way, though. You're looking at it just based off of the result. You're not.
I'm not
Bro,
looking
we
at
dominated the game.
I agree.
This
I
is
agree.
different. This is different from the game you saw today versus Arsenal versus City.
No,
This is
I
a
agree.
completely different situation.
I agree.
You know the difference between with you guys, because you guys won 3-0, 3-0.
No, yes.
The difference between that, you guys made those chances. If Jackson misses those, what are we talking about here?
Right.
But Salam, but this
and we created.
But that's exactly
the
my
amount of
point,
chances
though.
that you guys did.
But that's exactly my point, though.
Yeah.
If you guys have these aspirations to, follow up and maybe repeat being FA Cup winners or get and be top. No, I'm being serious though, because you come in here and you said it a couple of weeks ago, bro. Like, you have the team now. You have players that even with these injuries, you can bring in, and now you have a Xerxes. Even with
we have better players. Don't frame what I said. I said we have better players. I didn't say we were ready for anything. I said we have better players than we did.
So off the FA Cup, being the current FA Cup holders, you don't think you guys are ready to take the next step with the new players you acquired over the summer? Come on, bro.
I do. Me personally, I do. Our manager can't start the people that he's bringing in, though.
And
so I don't know.
And that's my whole point.
My aspirations are different from, I guess, we all have different aspirations.
That's my whole point, bro. I said this a few weeks ago. You guys have to win these games. Like, you have to win these games against these lower teams. And I know it's and the only reason I'm saying that is because we were here, and we're still here. We can move on to Chelsea now just because the conversation is kind of moving that way. But I'm glad Chelsea got the 3-0 win. In a way, I didn't expect it. I know Mike was being a little pompous last week when he said 3-1, but I think Mike actually fully expected it. I didn't expect it. And I know West Ham has had a bad start to this year, but I haven't been ready to trust a Chelsea team for the last 3-4 years now. So for me to even see us playing well over these first 4 weeks, I'm just like, all right, bro, they're going to have to show me something. And to be honest, this was one of the best games I've seen Moises Caicedo play in a Chelsea blue. To be honest, this was one of the most clinical I've ever seen Nicholas Jackson in a half.
Yeah.
He didn't put together a full 60 minutes or 90 minutes, but that first 45 minutes, bro, that was the best. That was the best 45 minutes I've ever seen him put together in a half. There's still Wesley Fofana being an idiot. There's still
Yeah.
Levi Colwill when we have possession, him kind of just trying to play a long ball and losing it. There's still a lot of things I look at this match and say, bro, I'm glad I woke up at 7:30 and saw a win because this wasn't even a great match for me. Like I'm being completely honest. I'm glad we were able to get those 2 quick goals, put them away kind of early, and then the third was just like, all right, like yeah, it's deaded now. Thank you, Cole Palmer. But for me, this was a 7 out of a 10 for a match, maybe 7.5. This wasn't even an 8 because I saw a lot of things that I don't want to get too technical about it. I'll let Mike say his piece, but I saw a lot of things where I was just like, bro, this doesn't look great, but offensively it's clicking. Like offensively it's clicking. Even defensively, there were a lot of times where I'm like, okay, this looks decent, but it's a little bit of like the in between. Like I said, we still don't really know how to control matches yet. So when we're, like I like Chelsea when we're down 1-0. I like Chelsea even 1-1 right now because we're still fighting for something. Is when we're supposed to be in control that I feel a little on edge about us. So that's where we have to grow as a team. But this was a beautiful match for me in the sense that we were able to go away to a team that we've had issues with and just put them to bed. And just put it to bed, and you could tell their fans were deaded. They had a goal call back, and from there it was just it is what it is. But I'm super happy that we got this win because this was a confident win for me. It wasn't it wasn't like personally I think we should have scored more, but it was one of those confident wins that I know that we can go and take home. This is another this is a London derby. West Ham is in London. So this is another one where we can look at the end of the season and say we took care of business at home. So I loved it. I loved what I saw from the boys. Again, like I said, Nicholas Jackson, best 45 I've ever seen. Moises Caicedo, best 60 minutes I've ever seen. He still had a few where he was giving the ball away where I'm just like, hey, bro, you're playing a little bit too comfortable now. But bro, from him winning the ball back in our attacking third to him splitting lines to him doing what he was bought for $100 million to do, it looked really, really good for a good 45 to 60 minutes. And so I saw way more positives than negatives. And in a 3-0 win, I'm glad I was able to say I can critique, but I can come home and feel nice about this win. This was a good 3-0 win that I feel good about, even with my critiques.
No, I agree with all your critiques. I think you're spot on with those because we're still a team that's fragile. We all know, offense is clicking, our front seems to be picking it up, but we all know we're still fragile in the back. And to walk away with a clean sheet was, for me, the biggest part that I enjoyed about that game. Not conceding. There were some mistakes, Fofana. Every game is going to have a couple, but, by now he has to be the vet in the back. He has to be the vet. Even though I like his game, I think those mistakes sometimes can cost us. If you look at the Bournemouth game, he had that pass back, which led to a PK. Luckily, Sanchez saved it. This game, he had the pull on Somerville. If Somerville didn't try to sell it so hard, it could have been called. But he tried to make it seem so dramatic, therefore made it, not let them call it because it's like you're going down too easy over there. But I agree with you. It's a very good 3-0 win, confidence booster. 2 wins back to back, which is not very common nowadays. With Chelsea. So this is a win that I think helps us build confidence. And I told Salam last week, I'm not gonna lie, I love the luxury of taking off Jackson Palmer and what's his name and Enzo and bringing on Nkunku, Felix and Neto. Like I'm never gonna feel like it's normal. Like I feel like I'm just still getting used to it.
Yeah,
because for the past couple of years, the options we've had and the players we've had and how, substitutions have been made, it's refreshing to see that we can take these guys off. We don't have to play them all 90. Give me a good shift, a good 60 minutes, and then we can bring a group of guys on two that can be just as dangerous and can add on to it. So
because it's like whenever you have a name brand that you love, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna trust with them even when they switch up the recipe. Like when Wendy's switched up their fries, but you're like, man, I know we're going with like the healthy sea salt, but these ain't really my jam. But it's Wendy's, so I'm just gonna rock with their fries. Like Joao.
That's a specific example.
That was life changing for me, man. I had Wendy's fries.
You know what I'm saying? Joao Felix, Pedro Neto. These are name brands. And although they may not be the wonder kids we thought they were, we know Neto has gone through his string of injuries, but we're still gonna rock with these name brands. Jadon Sancho, he did not have a great half, but we were able to take him off and bring on another name brand.
To assist.
You know what I'm saying? It was able to put in.
He did get an assist. He did get an assist. So even though he didn't play well.
Yeah. And it's nice to have these name brands that even though they might switch up and they might not be what they used to be a year ago or 2 years ago, we know that they're going to be able to plug and play and play at a level that Maresca deems favorable. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we both said it. This guy is kind of no nonsense. He values hard work. He values what he sees in training. So if he's playing you, that means he's giving you a chance because he likes what he sees. I mean, what happened to Mudryk? He started the first 3 matches and now he's thinking about leaving in January. You're gonna get your chance with this guy. You're gonna get another flop. I agree. So I'm
about to get to another one here in a second, but go ahead.
But yeah, no, these guys are gonna get their chances. It's up to you whether or not you're gonna take it. Salam with the other flop.
I wanted to clarify something that I said the other day after your guys' game. Mike had issue with it, so I just want to pose the question here. It's not really a question; it's more of a statement. Enzo's a flop, 100%, and I can comfortably say that because, and this is what I said. This is what Mike disagrees with.
My God.
I said when you look at Caicedo's best game was, to me, yesterday. You guys watch more than I do. Maybe
he's had a few other performances.
You could say maybe top 5 performances you've seen from him in a Chelsea shirt.
Yeah.
So I said when you look at what he's done this season, I've always believed he was a good player. But even when you look at his body of work last year as a Chelsea player, even last year he showed glimpses of like what he could be. He showed that like. You see why he was evaluated where he was evaluated.
I don't necessarily agree with you, but okay, I'm gonna just let you go.
Most of the things that he's gonna provide maybe won't show up statistically, but for me, just watching it, especially in the modern game, he does a lot. Now, and again, great performance yesterday. I can see why he is priced at where he was. Part of that obviously was because Brighton just valued him at what they valued him. You had to pay what you had to pay. But when you look at the other guy, I just, quite frankly, just don't see what he brings. It's not as if he's this great leader. It's not as if he's this Wes Morgan. It's not as if he's this, that's our captain up there. He's not like I don't know. Like he's not like he doesn't have like the technical, like the talent of like this is just a name, but like of a Paul Pogba. You know what I'm saying? Or no, but I'm just saying though.
Stop it.
You know how they do. Like with the like this person was cost this much and he hasn't done this. I just feel as if like when you look at this dude, I'm like.
Good land. Where are you going?
What do you see?
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, just like you said about Caicedo, what this man does will not show up every day in a stat sheet. If I thought Enzo was so bad and he wasn't providing us what we needed, I don't think Maresca would be playing him. I don't know what you're looking at him to do.
Yeah,
it's like picking on Jorginho at this point.
I just think he's
when Jorginho was on Chelsea.
That's a perfect example.
It was hard to see what Jorginho was doing. but he
Not
was
for me.
effective.
It was very straightforward. I think Jorginho is a very. I'm not trying to be funny. I think Jorginho is a very good player. Even when you guys were struggling, and he kept playing, I was the one telling you why he was still playing. I appreciate him as a player. This guy, this is just my opinion, though. You know what I'm saying? Because you've heard of. Remember, Anthony's the poster boy of right.
No,
he still is.
I'm just saying. This
he
guy.
still is.
No, that's a flop. No, that's a flop.
I've never. Yeah,
Anthony's a
more of a
proper
flop
flop
than I guess Enzo is. It's crazy, but I've never seen, aside from Jack Grealish, someone who costs $100+ million, who just doesn't give you like 100
I think
million.
you're on your own on this.
I ain't gonna.
I don't see it.
I'm not gonna agree with you, and I'm not an Enzo fan whatsoever. But to throw the word flop is crazy. I mean, he's
wild.
I'm just saying. Maybe he's
to throw the word flop around when he was
used to
starting
have
on a World Cup winning, Copa America winning squad.
It's crazy.
Oh, really? He this last Copa. Did you watch?
I'm not saying he played.
You
well.
watched?
Yeah, I
He
watched.
played.
You
What
watched?
do you mean?
Come on, don't do that. I watched.
He wasn't part of the team. He didn't play him.
Don't disrespect the game. Don't disrespect the game.
No, but
Yasser has a name for these, but I won't say it on here.
You're reaching.
I won't say it.
I think you're reaching.
I won't say it. I won't say it on here.
Would I love to have?
What do you want, son?
Personally,
him to show you?
No, personally,
what did everyone want?
Would I love to have Romeo
What did everyone want
instead?
Grealish to show? I don't know. There's only been like a few players in the Premier League.
Not even the same type of player.
Hold on, there's only been a few players in the Premier League who have ever cost $100+ million. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
When you look at Declan Rice, that's $100 million, right, Gabriel? That's $100 million right there, right?
No,
he's
not
giving
to me.
you $100 million.
Mike
every pound.
Declan Rice is not $100 million player. That's how much he cost. Yeah, we can agree on that.
He's you
not $100 million player.
So see, that's where you and I disagree. So I feel like
what does Declan Rice do that makes him $100 million?
What does Enzo Fernandez do besides be on the bus?
Because that's how much he cost. I'm not over here arguing with you that he's a $100 million player. I think you're just picking at it because now there's nothing to pick on Chelsea, so we have to find a scapegoat.
No. I'm just
but that's what it is. I don't know what you saw yesterday.
That was such a last 2 wins got Mike talking spicy.
That's a valid question.
I don't.
Mike, you have two guys.
What do you expect from Enzo that would make him $100 million? Because you're comparing him to Pogba, who they don't even have the same game. Who are you comparing him to?
I was just comparing them because they were both high-profile midfielders that cost a lot.
You're comparing them because of the price tag.
Okay, but
they don't play the same way.
I'm saying Caicedo does everything else. This guy can give you the goals. He can give you assists. What does he do? I'm just saying. We talk about Bruno Fernandes. Like what position does Enzo play? Center mid, attacking mid, defensive mid. What position does he play?
You tell me because whatever
I'm asking you so I can frame my next question. Go ahead.
You tell me because what he's doing right now doesn't work for you. So tell me what you expect from him that would make him worth what he was paid for.
I think
even though you all agree he wasn't worth assists.
Give me more goals and assists. We talk about Bruno.
I would
talk about Bruno.
You can
talk about Bruno. Bruno ain't caused that. I'm just saying. I'm just posing a question. Not even a question. It's more of a statement.
I want to say
we used to have a segment that I don't want to bring back up, but you guys know what it was called.
I mean,
he's on that watch.
The only thing
I'm not going to bring that back up. That's locked. That's locked in the vault. But you know what list he's on? He's on that list.
F-Dub.
Yeah,
that list only right now has Anthony on it.
We all right, relax. No, but what I was going to say is no. What I will say about that is he is a poor man's Kovacic. The role he's Enzo. Like
imagine
in the role that he's supposed to play.
100 million. Imagine a poor man's Kovacic, not even a regular Kovacic.
I
Poor
agree.
man's Kovacic.
I've never
I have
thought
the
he was
perfect
worth.
sound for you. Man, I got the perfect.
But Salam, but Salam, let's
relax.
Imagine.
but Salam, let's not hash out old jokes, because we've already said no one on this podcast believes that Enzo Fernandez is worth 100
What's
mil.
worth 100 million?
Chelsea inflated the market. We already said that. We messed up. We inflated the market. That's why all these midfielders are running around, all these forwards are running around thinking that they're worth 100 million. They're not. That's our fault. We know that. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, this guy is never going to hold up to his 100 million price tag. But as long as he is a solid midfielder that's doing his job and not messing up, I can roll with this, bro. Like I have Caicedo playing to where I need him to be playing. So as long as Enzo isn't holding him down, this is a balance we're just going to have to rock with. You know, It is what it is. Like, we don't have anyone better until Lavia comes back. Would I love to have Lavia healthy right now and them being in healthy competition? Yes. But until that happens,
I'm not trying to shake up your.
Salam, is the price tag that has you? Right now.
Look, we already paid the price.
Hey, come on. Come on.
It's the price tag.
I'm just sharing the same way we all share links in our group chat. Don't be trying to come on here and act all, you know what I'm saying? I'm just sharing links, you know what I'm saying? Evaluation is a big thing. You know what I'm saying?
Stop the cap.
Yeah.
I agree.
Hey,
I
man.
agree.
Stop the cap. We acting as if like
Salam, I agree with you to a certain extent. Flop? No.
No,
that's where we go separate ways.
I'll take that back.
I'll take that back.
But he's on that list. You know what I'm talking about? What list? He's on that list. On the forbidden list, he's on it. He's on that list. We're watching, at least on the watch.
That's where we go separate ways. Because I can agree with most of what you said.
Okay.
But then when we get to that flop, no, come on.
Hey, I'll be there. I'll be there waiting for you. I'll be there.
So Mudrik's planning on leaving in the.
He wants more play time, but that's the thing with him too. Right. You get the play time, and you don't do anything.
Yeah,
Maresca trusted you from the jump. Like, hey, I'm going to put my hands around you, and then he said, "What did he say?" When you get it's like you don't know what he's going to do with the ball. He has good moments, and then right next after that moment, he does something stupid. But we're trying to win games. We're not here to, at the end of the day, like, we're not here to like just worry about only your development. You also got to put in your part. And I'm not mad at, him not playing recently, because we have a good thing going. You have to interrupt what we have going with your game when you get your chance to play. Look at what Matchweek did. He wasn't getting any play time. He got his play time, 2 game back-to-back games, back-to-back goals, and then he had his hat trick.
Does he know
now
English?
It's hard to take him out.
Does he know English?
Modric?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Oh, that'll be good for him. He needs to know.
Stop.
Yeah, that'll be good.
He needs a good loan. I think a good loan will be good for him. He just needs to go on loan, go somewhere where they can trust him to play regularly.
Look, my whole issue with our whole, and this will be it, and then we can get into, Champions League. We're running out of time here a little bit, but my whole thing with this Chelsea project has been, can we figure out a style of play and an identity?
Yeah.
Once we do that, the players that we need to fill in these roles will happen naturally. You know what I mean?
They'll weave themselves out. Exactly.
I initially thought this was going to be an easy process. I'm 3 years in, and I'm figuring out that it's not even close it's not even close to being done. So for me now, like I'm looking at the progress we've made in our few years. We've gone really, really high, really, really low, and now we're back to being normal again. So for me, I'm looking forward. I'm like, hey, Mudryk, you got your chance. It didn't work out. I'm sorry, but nothing personal, bro. I'm trying to win games. I'm trying to win championships. I'm trying to create a dynasty here. And finally, for the first time, I could see a manager that has that as well. on mine. So I like what I see. I'm just excited for Chelsea to kind of get back into this consistent way of play, and I'm starting to see it with Maresca.
That's
Yeah,
fair. Guys look better.
that's what it is.
That's all it is. But I want to talk Champions League a little bit because Champions League is back, baby. We're back in full effect with our European matches. It was strange seeing Champions League actually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It was kind of nuts, like being able to see games all week. A few of them were were kind of weak. Some of these matches felt very Europa League, but we did get some good matches this week. I don't know where to start, so I'll just go ahead and I'll start with the first matches that were on Tuesday. I'll just highlight the big ones. We saw Juve get a 3-1 win versus PSV. Aston Villa got a 3-0 win against Young Boys. Kind of want to talk about Villa, man. They look good in the league and they look good in Europe. John Duran, I don't know, probably super sub of the year, 12th man of the year, already just 5 matches in. I believe he has 4 goals in the Prem. He did not get a goal in Champions League, but I believe he got
they took it away.
Yeah, they took it away, but man, it's been real refreshing to see a player that direct. I ain't seen a player that direct in the league in a little bit, like with that much talent and that much directness. I was gonna say they're not my shout outs, but him and Brennan Johnson. And I'm not even really like a big Brennan Johnson fan,
Brennan
but
Johnson.
I was watching the Spurs highlights, and that he's very, very direct as a player, and I like that. I like seeing this new emergence of young Prem wingers that they just want to score goals. Like they're only wingers because we don't play 4-4-2 anymore, and they're not allowed to be strikers because the striker is the best player on the team. But these guys are just as hungry to score goals, and I like seeing that in John Duran. But how do y'all feel about Villa? How do you think their Champions League campaign is going to be this year, based off their first match?
I think it's refreshing to see a team where everybody understands their role, everybody's comfortable with their role. You know what Duran is doing. On most teams, people will be screaming for him to start. Like you got to start him, but I like that. Unai Emery's been able to manage that, keep everything in check. Hey, Ollie Watkins is our guy. You're the guy that comes on to finish the games, and it seems to be working. I don't think they should change anything. Just keep it going.
That's a good point.
They've been good. They probably had the best transfer window out of anyone.
Quietly, low key, yeah.
I feel like they've had one of the best transfer windows because every player they brought in fit their system perfect.
I agree.
And Unai's the guy to manage all those. It seems like a good group of guys too. Like they all like each other. They're all. It just seems like a good group of players together. So yeah, no, they've been good. I think they brought in the reinforcements. They actually have like a good 15 players, 16 players to solidly rotate in the team.
Yeah.
And I think it's still going to be tough for them because it's still going to be tough. But at the same time, the format of the Champions League has changed, so they can easily get out.
Yeah.
Like the format has changed now. It's not just 4 groups, or these groups with 4 teams in there. Like, nah, the format's completely different. Like if you don't get out of Champions League now, I'm looking at these teams like if you don't get out of Champions League, bro, it's a problem. It's low-key a problem. No, seriously though. Like there's too many games now, and there are way too many people that get out of Champions League for you not to get out.
So for those of you who may not know the new Champions League format, the top 8 teams automatically make it through into the round of 16.
The next round.
Which is the round of 16. So half of the round of 16 is determined by the top 8 teams. And then the next 16 teams under that will have a playoff. So the top 24 teams all have a chance to make it, and the top 8 teams automatically make it through. So that's kind of how the new format works. So you kind of just have to be in the top 75% of the group to get a chance to make it through. Being in the top 8 automatically ensures your way through to the knockout stages with his new Champions League format.
But it's like
So-
if you don't make no playoff, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
And it should clearly even out. Like all these, like what I saw is Rapid Wien. No, it's like
Rapid-
Shakhtar, You know,
Strum, Graz. Yes,
Dynamo
Strum,
Kiev.
these guys,
Zagreb.
Red Star. You will see. You shouldn't just. You probably won't get a playoff. But bro, if in some of these playoffs, like if you're not getting out of Champions League, there's a problem. You should make the knockouts
for sure.
because it's a little bit easier even now. It's a little bit easier. So
I agree.
I feel like they should bare minimum they should get a playoff. Bare minimum for I'm looking at Aston Villa. Unai Emery's good at these one-off games, bro. He's great at these one-off games. So I can see them going to a knockout. Easy. I can really see them going to a knockout and see what happens.
Yeah, to get through the rest of the Tuesday games, we had Liverpool beat Milan 3-1. Another big Arne Slot win. I think that was a big test for him. First European match under the Liverpool belt. And Pulisic scored first. They were in Milan first and foremost, so it was an away match, and they got scored on within the first 3 minutes of the match. So I think it just showed how calm he is. In these big moments, he can kind of just calm the team. And again, they have veteran guys who've been here before, so I think that was a big statement win for Liverpool. I don't know if you guys were able to watch the match, but
I think it was good. I mean, for Liverpool, for Slot and his team, but I think I more so took, even though that they lost, I took a little bit more away from AC Milan. I really think that team could be a dark horse in this tournament. I think
really
they got a lot of good players, man. And that's a team right there that you can tell they're clicking, they're gelled. Like Mike was saying earlier, like it seems as if there's no crazy egos in there. And with the talent that they have, man, I don't see why they don't make it out of their group and into the round of 16, because I think that they have enough to challenge in Europe and in the league. They're actually tied right now with Inter Milan, but
you know my problem. You know who their success depends on for me.
Oh, Pulisic?
Nope.
Who's that?
Morata?
Nope.
Tammy?
Leao.
Oh,
Leao. He should be so much like I feel like he's just not living up to his potential, bro. Because I really feel like he should be one of these top wingers. Every match we should be talking about him. Yeah. And he should be dominating games. Yeah, it should be dominant. Like he should be dominant, bro. He's such a physical presence, physical force, and he's so good with his feet. And I feel like he should be dominating left backs or right backs. And he should just take over. I see these like performances from him, and I'm just like, bro. Like, what is it going to take for you to take these players 1v1? Like, some days you see him on it, and then you just see him disappear, and it's like, why the change up, man? I really feel like if he becomes the winger I think he can become, that team will be, even more of a dark horse. I feel like there's a lot of their success weighs on him, bro. When he plays well, everyone plays well.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Pulisic also too, man. You gotta shout out to Pulisic. He has the highest goal contributions, I think, in the Serie A, or definitely on that team. But he's like amongst the top. I think it's in the Serie A. So shout out to him. Shout out to Tammy coming back, scoring. Tammy Abraham. So
it's Chelsea 2.0.
Yeah, it's Chelsea over there, man. They have a lot of good guys. And honestly, bro, I really think, before we move on, I really think that like people are catching on to like going to Italy low key, no disrespect.
Yeah,
it's like a vibe. It's a vibe over there, bro.
Yeah,
it's a little bit more
going abroad in general for these.
It's a vibe.
Guys.
It's a vibe, definitely. But I just feel like, but these players who come and are used to the pace and the physicality of the Premier League, like when they go elsewhere, like I watched McTominay play for Napoli, and I'm like, bro, you did not look like that.
No, you just ain't see it, Salam. I was trying
No. But it was also, he's in a different position. The game is a little bit different there in Italy.
Mhm.
So like when he gets the ball in certain places where he would get the ball in the Prem, he has time to turn, to look over his shoulder, come this way, get his heel on the ball. Like you don't have that time in the Premier League. You get pressed right
Yeah.
away. So
Mhm.
if you can't turn on the half turn in the Premier League as a midfielder, he's probably the only midfield. I don't want to say that, but he's probably one of the few midfielders that can't turn on the half turn, from what I've seen consistently for 4 years. But I mean, I think that these guys that go over there find success, and I think there's just
No, I agree with you on that.
I
um,
agree. I agree. Bayern also was able to get another massive win, 9-2 all over Dynamo Zagreb. And then we saw Madrid win 3-1 against Stuttgart on that Tuesday slate.
shout
So
out
I feel-
company, man.
Shout out company, man. It's always good to see another black coach in a major role just doing what he's supposed to do and getting wins, man. I feel like he was under some scrutiny from the jump. And so I just want to see him win, to be honest. I want to see him do as well as possible in that Bayern Munich head manager role. So Wednesday slate, big matches to highlight there. Celtic with a big, massive 5-1 win over.
Where it goes, man.
Yeah, it was kind of out of the blue, but it's always good to see
Mhm.
Celtic in the Champions League. They're one of those teams that we kind of always see, but they're kind of hit or miss. So we'll see how they do this year. Dortmund started off with a solid 3-0 win. I wanted to highlight Dortmund because they've been one of those teams that, they just have been really, really good with developing youth and just young talent. And this team, man, their goal scorers, both of their goal scorers, Jamie Gittins and
Guirassy?
the young boy from England, Jamie Gittins, and then Guirassy, Guinea. He's from Guinea, 28 years old, in his prime
He's
right
good.
now, and he's good. He's been making some noise for them. He has a goal in the league as well for Dortmund. I think they're going to be one of those teams. I mean, I know we always say this, but this Dortmund team, they have some exciting young guys. They have Adeyemi as well. I like this team. I want to see if they can push teams to maybe get to like a semifinal this year. I know that they were able to go far last year. Let's see what they do this year. Man City versus Inter, which was a 0-0 draw. I think that was interesting to everybody. I feel like we kind of expected City to kind of dominate, but
They have big misses.
Did you guys feel like they were both kind of, playing a little, kind of backing off a little bit?
Yeah, I feel like they both had big games coming up on the weekend. They're just like, man, let's just.
Let's just
How many games?
Yeah.
There's like 8 of these games anyway, man. Let's just.
I'm watching the game. Like, I know you guys can go harder at each other than this.
That's a good point.
I know. I don't want to. We're gonna touch on that after.
But I mean, I think. It just seemed as if like the pace. I mean, City had opportunities to score, like opportunities to put the game away. Grealish, Gundogan, but I think. I mean, Inter, looking at AC Milan, Man City, looking at Arsenal. There's just so many games, man, and sometimes that's like the one thing that this is kind of off topic, but that's like the one thing that I'm afraid of with the Champions League. I just don't want it to tarnish, like to ruin the quality of the games, because now teams are like, we got 8 of these, group stage games, so it's like
they're playing the numbers. We could advance with 15 points, 17 points.
Yeah, we could, Which, I mean, on the flip side, it probably does incentivize you to win early so that, like, you can get it over with, you're in. But, like, when you're having to kind of look at the game today and then you have to look at the game ahead, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I just don't. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the quality of the product. But most importantly, the players are playing so many games, so many minutes. So shout out to all the players, man.
Yeah, man. PSG with a very, very shaky 1-0 win against Girona off an own goal. I don't know if this has more to say about Girona being able to hold their own, being that they had a masterful season last year in the La Liga. Or if this has more to say about PSG, no Mbappe, like where their identity lies. I know they're looking good in their league, but as far as European pedigree, where they've been lacking, for these years, which is the thing they want. They want the Champions League. They weren't able to get it done with Mbappe, with Messi, with Sergio Ramos, with Neymar. The list goes on and on. But in recent years, we know they kind of put together that super team. Do we ever think that PSG is going to have this European dominance, or is it kind of just one of those things where
they have their
until
shot.
it matters?
They have their shot. It's done.
Really? I think that team could be another sleeper though too, man. I feel like, especially now, like there's no crazy egos on that team. That team has a lot of talented players. They have a great coach. So if they could click, they have a coach that has shown that he can win in this competition. So I think. I think sometimes in certain situations, like less is more. So like I think that that could potentially help them out because they got a lot of ballers on that team, man. Still, there's a lot of new guys that are coming into the fold because of the departures that left, like Barcola,
bro,
like he's
young boy.
He's not Mbappe,
he's a real talent.
Young shout out.
Yeah, he's nice. Pretty good. He's pretty
baby face, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, but yeah, man. Is that all the games?
No, so that was Tuesday and Wednesday. These are the Thursday slates. Just going to highlight the bigger matches here since there were so many. Leverkusen started off their campaign with a 4-0 win over Feyenoord. Yeah. Florian Wirtz looks good. He had 2 goals. Grimaldo also had a goal there. All of their goals were in the first half. Kind of coasted in the second half. Boniface with that crazy fake shot pass.
Yeah.
Hey,
he's elite.
That team got too much sauce right now.
I know.
They moving with, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we won 2 out of 3 trophies. It should have been 3, but we ain't gonna talk about it. Like they have that confidence. They look really, really good right now.
I just thought of a start sub sell, but I don't know if
Keep it.
I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep it.
Keep it. Since we have a resident gunner on the pit pod, I'll just ask him about the 0-0 draw versus Atalanta. I know you were all with some players, but how did you feel about that midweek draw?
Honestly, I feel exactly what Salam said. We got a point. We have 7 more of those. Get out of there. We have a big match on the weekend.
Yeah.
No, seriously. I didn't even care that much. So I was like, Atalanta, like I would like to win. Start off with, but bro, we have 7 of these. There's no more. Like we have 7. Like we have so many of these, and we'll get our wins. We'll put more effort into this when we need to. But right now, we need to focus on the league. And there'll be times in the year where we'll have to decide what competition we really need to focus on that week. There's going to be times we have 3 matches in a week, 6 matches in 18 days with 3-4 different competitions. Like, you have to pick and choose when, your battle. So, no, we got a point. 0-0, get out of there. I'm cool with it. I'm all good.
No, I mean, I thought it was actually a good 0-0 win for you guys. Because going into that game with, missing Odegaard and all of that, I thought it was a good result to walk out of Atalanta with. Huge save by Raya. Huge double save, actually, by Raya on that PK. That's the Champions League, man. You just got to survive and move on. Survive and move on and hope for a favorable matchup.
I'm not even worried about it.
Yeah, I think that's a good mentality to have, at least with these matches that may be a little difficult. Atalanta obviously being a team that has some European pedigree as well, so it's not like this is a loss or a draw, against a team that you should necessarily beat on paper. So I feel like it's a good way, especially it's an away match as well, so a good way to start the campaign. Atleti beat RB Leipzig 2-1. Shout out Griezmann. I am an undercover fan and president of the Griezmann Stan Club. That's my guy, bro. I love Greece. I ain't gonna hold you. And then Barcelona, very, very shocking, but started off their Champions League campaign this year with a loss to Monaco, 2-1. Yo, I was looking at this Monaco team.
Yeah.
They have some players.
They got a good player.
Very, very, very sneaky dark horse for this Champions League campaign.
I agree.
Minamino, Zakaria, who was an old Chelsea player, Salisu and Kara in the back, and Briel and Bolo as their striker. They also have the young French guy, Magnus.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's a right winger. He's one of the guys that got the goal. Very, very good player coming out of there. They have some guys. I would say if you're looking for a team to watch that may just be playing on one of these off days, Monaco is a good team. I feel like they're gonna play a lot of good football this campaign. I actually might tap into them in their league as well. But yeah, that's about it for Champions League. This was week 1. We're gonna have a lot more matches as we go forward, but highlights, shout outs, and
there was one more thing I want to talk about though.
Go ahead.
Just real quick. You know these players think about going on strike?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard about it.
I heard about this. I've been hearing these little rumblings, bro.
Because of all the games?
Rodri's one of the ones.
Too many games.
Many games. And hey, I'm gonna be sad as a fan because I won't be able to watch football, but I'm not even mad. I feel them because they maybe get 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off a year.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of these guys.
Off season is not even that long.
Yeah, exactly. Off season is really 2 weeks, and they still have to train. So they have to come back fit because the season starts in a couple of weeks. So they have a preseason tour. So, you know, yeah, man. I just wanted to bring it up. I just want to know you guys' thoughts because I've been hearing about it, and it's like, ooh, it's catching some steam.
If they go on strike, I mean, they do need breaks though. Like
they do.
Let's be for real. I think Germany and Italy. I'm not sure about Spain. I think during the winter time they give their guys like 2
Spain.
weeks
Yeah,
off.
Spain has a break too.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to see the Prem do that too. Like everybody get a break and we'll come back. But it's one of those things, you know. At the end of the day, I get it. It's a business, you know. It's everything now is a money grab. You know, half of these games don't even matter. Like what the hell is a Conference League game? What the hell is a fucking Nations League? Is that what they play?
Finalissima.
Like what are these games? Come on, guys. Like I get it. So if the players do go on strike,
I support it.
It's understandable. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's unfair to just put them in a situation, obviously, where it's just like we just have more games. So like there has to be, you know, some sort of solution or I don't know. Like I just the whole Conference League, like we could do without the whole Conference League.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's another one. The Nations League. I just feel like, you know, like I don't know, and this just maybe just because I'm not like, you know, younger anymore, but like when I was younger, man, I feel like there was like a little bit of like a prestige of like the national team. You know,
exactly.
Like when
these
they go
international
off,
games,
yeah, like when they go off to when your players go off to their national teams, it's like it's only for a short period of time. So it's like, you know, that what you get from that is just, I don't know. It's just like now I just feel like they're always it's like another international break, which I know it's never the case, but you know, obviously of fans of the game, it's just like, damn, like I don't know. We could definitely do with less games.
I feel like those breaks used to be like more for like qualifiers and, you know, like games that actually matter. But now it's like it's a Nations League game.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Yeah. Even the friendlies, like, you know, you used to be excited about like a young prospect, you know, like having a great season, you know, gets his opportunity. Even a friendly. I used to be tuned in with the friendlies, but now it's like, bro, I feel like you guys played together so much that like I feel like on an international scale, y'all should be dialed in with one another. But I don't know. That's another conversation. Yeah, man. Shout out to the players, man.
Yeah, I just pray for their health, man. I just want to see them care about these games and be able to perform at the highest level. So hopefully, and that's the thing. There's no real like union because it's all these different countries, and I guess maybe you could probably form one under UEFA and then form another one under FIFA, but I'm not exactly sure how those things work. And so there's really no governing body to be like, hey, bruh, we need to protect our players, coming from current players, former players, and like current coaches and former, you know what I mean? Like this, it can't just be the players just saying, hey, we think we're playing too many games. It has to be a concerted effort.
Yeah.
And so we'll see.
Yeah, let's get into predictions, man. Midweek game. Shout out Conor Gallagher, just scored, tied it up.
We have I think Carabao on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, you do. You play. I've never heard of shout out Barrow. You play Barrow.
Yeah.
I want to say they're in the same league as Wrexham.
Okay, shout out Barrow. No disrespect.
I mean, I would love a 6-piece, but
Oh wow.
we can keep it
6
respectable.
piece, bro.
Like,
Six
you're
weeks-
acting different now.
Six
You're acting
weeks
different.
I'm telling you,
spicy.
it's fucking spicy,
Mike
man.
changed up
Mike
the
talking.
location of the
He too
recording.
relaxed. Look
He's
at him.
laid
He on
back.
the couch.
Yeah.
Feel me?
man.
Nah,
Yeah.
man.
Nah, I feel good about this squad, even though the back line is, suspect. I feel good about us.
Okay.
Remember,
Cornelius.
I had us in the top 4 in our predictions.
Yeah,
Barrow, I
you
want to
know,
see.
Don't
I want to
forget
see.
that. I'm
I
confident
want to see
about
all
this
the
team.
guys that don't play. I want to see Mark Guiu. I want to see Mudryk.
Viega, all
You
the
want to see Reece James?
No, I don't want to see him. And to be honest, now that we're on the topic, I mean, I sent Mike, some little rumblings. I saw that we're looking to replace him this
Yeah.
January. So this Reece James saga might be coming to a very sad and bitter end, but it is what it is,
You
man.
know where he should go? I know the perfect place for him.
Milan.
Nah. City.
No.
You don't got to play that much rotation. You're still
Yeah.
He's still a good player. He just can't.
You said the same
bro.
thing about Calvin Phillips. You know what they do at City. If you
Nah,
can't
not
perform,
me.
they
Not
spit
me.
you out.
That was never me. That was
Somebody in here was talking about Calvin
That
Phillips.
was never.
should go to
That
City.
wasn't me.
Somebody literally said it. Oh, he won't
Not
have
me.
to play as many games because he'll
Nah.
be a rotational. And I was just like, he
I know
won't.
who-
Probably
was.
solo. It was probably solo.
Nah, it was somebody. It was one of us four, and it was.
I do not rate Calvin
Or the
Phillips.
gasser.
Y'all
Probably
know
the
where I
gasser.
stand on
It might be the guy. Maybe it was a gasser. Maybe
Probably
it
was the gasser.
it.
We don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
we don't
man.
put him
Yeah,
on blast.
we see Bolton midweek. Cornelius.
Wow.
There are a couple
Bolton.
guys. There are a couple guys I need. I need to play 90 minutes. I need Calafiori to play 90 minutes. There's no reason he should be coming off at 70 minutes. I understand you haven't been playing, but I need you to play 90 minutes. I need to get your fitness. I need to see Nwaneri. You feel me? I need to see some of these guys get their fitness, and some of these guys. I want to see Martinelli play. Like some of these guys need to get back on just playing better. And then on the weekend we see Leicester. I fully expect us to get it up. I expect 6 points this week. We got 4 points from 2 tough matches. 6 points this week has to be. So
All right.
Yeah, we play FC Twente in the Europa League.
Europa.
Yeah,
hey,
we're back.
I'm putting in a bet against you. I'm just like,
Yeah, man. I already know this is going to be a tough game. I can already see it. But obviously, in preparation of the game, Ugarte didn't start. Casemiro didn't play. Rashford didn't start. So I think that we're always going to take these cup competitions seriously, and I think we're always going to go strong where we can. So at home, I think that they'll be able to beat FC Twente, and hopefully, like I was saying, even with Champions League, yeah, we're not in Champions League, but if we can rack up these wins early in the tournament and just start focusing on the league or the other cup competitions, I think that that's what's best. And hopefully we can use the disappointment as motivation. The disappointment from the game versus Crystal Palace is motivation, but I think we win over the weekend. I don't know. Shit, who do we play over the weekend? We play Tottenham. Oh boy. Oh man, we meet
Where's the
again.
game?
Big Ange.
Where
Big
you from?
Ange Postecoglou.
Is that Old Trafford?
It's at Old Trafford.
Hmm.
So I mean, you know, with certain teams, I just feel like form goes out the window. I've always said this about Chelsea. With Chelsea, it doesn't matter what we could lose 3 in a row. With Chelsea, I feel very comfortable. Tottenham is another one of those. So I expect the dub at Old Trafford, and you know, especially if Ainge wants to come out and play the way he wants to play. Play. And, yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I see a dub out on Trafford, man.
Okay.
Yeah, shout.
We
Go
have
ahead.
Brighton too. I don't think we touched
Brighton.
on Brighton. Yeah,
Okay,
our hated rivals. You know,
that's your B team.
Nah, they like to extort money out of us. I hope we beat the brakes off of them. I
They
don't
extort.
like that at all.
Back to extort money.
You got a good team. Who's your left back? Cucurella. Cucurella actually had a pretty good game against.
He struggled, but he held his own.
Yeah, he struggled. I wonder. Adingra's gonna get a hold of him though.
I'm not worried about Brighton.
Yeah, I didn't say bro. I said one person. I said there's one matchup.
Hey, shout out Simon. Shout out Simon and Digger.
Yeah, man.
My African.
Facts.
Oh, African, my
All
African.
right, shout outs. Who you guys got, man? Get outta here.
I'll go mine first. Shout out, honestly, to my boys at Fulham, Smith Rowe and Reece Nelson. Each
Yeah.
getting the goal today. Hey, I just want to say Smith Rowe quietly balling out at Fulham to start.
Yeah.
Quietly been balling out at Fulham. So I love to see him doing his thing. Yeah, shout out them.
Yo, shout out to my boy Nicholas Jackson. Action Jackson. I've been telling you, when the ball starts hitting the back of the net, the conversation is going to change, and it's coming. For the ones of you that are not prepared, just get ready. You think I'm spicy now? Just wait. just wait. Somebody looked at me and told me Havertz was a better striker than Nicholas Jackson. Okay.
Oh man, I have my shout out is Vincent Company, man. Big week for him. I hope he continues to have success. And shout out Michael Elise too, man. Low key having his way in Bundesliga, man.
Are we surprised?
No, but it's just
man.
like I don't know, bro. It's like, and no disrespect to Bundesliga, but like Michael Elise was good. I think he was definitely like one of those players that was like, you know, this was going to be the season where he really kind of, you know,
came on his own,
flourishes. But bro, when these guys leave the Prem and they go somewhere else, it's like, why do they look crazy? They look just like
I feel like because the physical demand of the Prem is so high that some of these guys' bodies just can't go through it. They just can't keep up. So when they go to these other leagues, the physical demand isn't as high.
Yeah, well, shout out.
It isn't as fast as the Prem, and over there things slow down, bro. I swear, I feel like they go overseas and things just slow down because they've been in the Prem where everything's just so hectic and so crazy all the time, and they can go there and like, oh, I have 3 seconds on the ball. Oh, you don't get that in the Prem.
Between him and Musiala, it's like
even Kane, dog.
Kane,
Bro, I'm looking at Kane, bro. He's like bagging goals upon goals, but nobody's talking about it anymore because they're just like,
he's always
it's Kane. But it's crazy. He's doing crazy work over there.
Yeah. All right.
Another episode in.
Yeah, another episode in. Cornelius, did you say anybody?
Oh no, but honestly, I'll do something no one expects me to do. Shout out Brennan Johnson.
Okay. That's a good one.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I never really paid attention to that guy ever, and I was watching the Spurs, a little bit of the Spurs match in their highlights, and I really like his game. He's a player that I think a lot of teams like kind of need that type of player. Just very, very direct. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy about his game, but shout out to him. I'm kind of gonna peep his career. I want to see him do well.
Yeah, he's had a tough week too, man. Because after the London Derby, he was getting racially abused. So
I heard about that as well.
Yeah, so shout out to him, man. Good, man. How do we do on Lock of the Week before we leave?
Lock of the Week. Yeah,
we did not get the max.
I did not. I lost.
Aston Villa came through for your boy.
Aston Villa came through for Mike. Cornelius, you had
Brighton.
They played them. They didn't win today. They tied. Dang, we went 1 for 3 this week, boys.
Yeah, 1 for 3, man.
I thought this is our worst week yet. Yeah. Worst week yet. Yeah. We'll get back right next week. There's marquee matchups this week and some tough matchups. But we'll get back. We'll get right. A lot of GRGs. You know, this is a big week. A lot of big matches. Some GRGs are coming up. So.
Yeah, take whoever City's playing the next game. Because
facts. Take overs on City
again and stuff, right?
Yeah, over 2.5 goals for sure.
Easy. Holland hat trick. No joke.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Good episode, guys. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, good luck to you and your future endeavors.